Flames claw at the night sky above Troy, their orange tongues licking higher than the citadel walls ever reached in pride. Screams pierce the darkness, not the defiant roars of warriors, but the raw animal wails of a city ripped apart from within. A wooden horse, that grotesque monument to human cunning, stands gutted in the heart of the agora, its belly spilling warriors like a wound, birthing maggots. Blood pools in the gutters, mixing with the black smoke that chokes the stars. And there, amid the inferno, a god watches, Athena, her eyes cold as the spear she wields, directing the slaughter with the precision of a surgeon dissecting a still-living heart. This is not victory. This is divine retribution, served with the casual cruelty of immortals who have gambled with mortal souls and now collect their debts. The air reeks of charred flesh and ruptured bowels, a stench that clings to the few who stumble through the carnage, seeking impossible escape. Women clutch children to their breasts, only to watch Trojan spears pierce both in the same thrust, their cries cut short by the efficiency of killers who have been killing for 10 relentless years. Priam, that ancient king whose wisdom once tempered the city's hubris, lies crumpled at an altar, his throat slit by a son of Troy turned betrayer, Neoptolemus, Achilles' boy, who wields his father's rage without his father's fleeting honor. Cassandra, the prophetess cursed to speak, truth no one heeds, is dragged screaming from Athena's temple, her divine visions now just mockery as Ajax defiles her on the sacred stones. The gods do not intervene. They orchestrated this. From Olympus they lean forward, breath held, as if this apocalypse were their finest entertainment. Hector's widow Andromache hears her son's skull dashed against the wall before she sees it, the wet crack echoing louder than the city's death throes. The boy, Astyanax, barely old enough to grasp his father's shield, becomes a symbol crushed under the heel of Greek necessity, better a dead heir than a future avenger. Odyssean cunning brought the horse within the gates, but it is divine malice that savors each individual horror, each mother's keening magnified through the streets. The palace, once a labyrinth of Mycenaean splendor, collapses in on itself, beams snapping like the spines of fallen giants, crushing the royal line beneath tons of smoldering stone. Yet even in this annihilation, something stirs, a pattern, a rhythm of betrayal that began not with Greek ships, but with a single apple tossed at a wedding no mortal was meant to witness. The gods' game has come full circle, and Troy pays the butcher's bill. Now pull back from the flames, from the specific agonies that define this night, and see the larger architecture of divine perfidy. Athena, who armed the Greeks, now ensures no mercy taints their blades. Apollo, once Troy's protector, withdraws his favor like a father disowning a disappointing child. Hera and Athena, still seething from Paris's judgment, orchestrate the finale with the meticulous hatred of spurned queens. Zeus himself, father of gods and men, sits neutral only in appearance. His nod to Thetis sealed Hector's doom long before the horse rolled through the gates. This is no mere siege won by mortal valor. It is the culmination of Olympian vendettas, where human lives serve as pawns in games of cosmic vanity, their blood the ink that writes the gods' grudges into eternity. Consider the irony embedded in this cataclysm. The city built to withstand any mortal assault falls not to swords or siege engines, but to a hollow equine effigy filled with the very desperation it mocks. The Trojans, guardians of sacred oaths and ancient lineages, welcome destruction disguised as salvation, their piety inverted into fatal folly by divine manipulation. Sinon, the Greek lyre, convinces them with tears and tales of Athena's wrath turned against her own champions, a fiction so perfect it rivals the goddess's own deceptions. Meanwhile, on the ramparts, Laocoon and his sons writhe in the coils of sea serpents, Poseidon's parting gift to silence the one priest who saw through the ruse. Divine intervention ensures the trap springs shut, every warning silenced, every doubt extinguished in salt water or Greek steel. But why this totality of destruction? Why not conquest, subjugation, tribute? Because the gods demand erasure, not submission, total annihilation to avenge a beauty contest judged by a shepherd prince who dared prefer Aphrodite's promise over their power. Paris's apple chose a goddess of love, but ignited a war that exposed the fragility of divine egos, their immortality no shield against petty jealousies that burn hotter than Trojan hearths. The Greeks, instruments of this wrath, become as monstrous as their puppeteers, their decade of savagery culminating in a night where no quarter is given because none was ever intended. Even Agamemnon, king of men, hesitates only momentarily before ordering the temples razed, sensing perhaps that piety offers no quarter when gods themselves have abandoned it. Troy's fall reveals the first paradox of Greek myth. Mortals die for immortal flaws, their cities razed to soothe egos that never bruise but always bleed. Rewind now, not to explain, but to deepen the disorientation. Helen's face, that supposed cause of all this ruin, watches impassively as flames consume her adopted home. She too, a pawn, spirited away by Aphrodite's promise, and now witnessing the bill come due. Menelaus, her husband, finds her cowering and cannot strike, transfixed by the same beauty that launched 1,000 ships, even as his men slaughter around her. This moment crystallizes the absurdity. War over a woman who remains untouchable, a prize preserved amid universal destruction. The gods laugh from afar, their judgment proven not by victory, but by the completeness of the catastrophe they engineered. Yet within this laughter lurks the first unanswered question. If gods wield such power to destroy, what compels them to squander it on such trivial slights? The flames of Troy offer no answer, only ash and the echo of screams that will haunt the victors long after they sail for home. Deeper still, embedded in the architecture of this fall, lies the revelation of divine psychology. Immortals not as perfect beings, but as fractured psyches writ large. Their eternity a curse that amplifies every insecurity into apocalypse. Zeus, who could end the war with a thunderbolt, prolongs it to balance scales of favor and spite. His paternity claims over heroes like Sarpedon, mere excuses for inaction. Hera's hatred festers not from lost beauty, but from chronic second place. Her marriage to Zeus, a gilded cage that fuels eternal resentment. Athena, virgin warrior, craves validation through mortal proxies, her favor turning to fury when Paris spurns her wisdom for carnal promise. These are not abstract forces. They are beings with the emotional maturity of feuding aristocrats, wielding lightning and fate like petulant children with loaded guns. Troy burns because gods feel, and their feelings demand sacrifice on a scale no mortal city can bear. One sensory detail re-anchors us in the night, the taste of blood and sea salt on the lips of Greek warriors who came by water and now drown the streets in red. They hack through the Scaean gates, splintered oak giving way to flesh, each swing of bronze releasing more of the darkness they brought with them from Aulis, where Agamemnon slew his daughter Iphigenia to appease Artemis. That first blood debt, paid in innocent throat, mirrors this final harvest, the gods' arithmetic demanding balance through exponential horror. Cassandra's rape on Athena's altar profanes the divine directly, yet the goddess approves. Her vengeance transcends sanctity, purity a luxury for mortals only. The wooden horse, now a tomb for Trojan hopes, rots in the morning light that never comes, its innards crusted with gore from the warriors it birthed into history's most infamous betrayal. A single cold irony cuts through the narrative. The horse, symbol of Greek guile, was built from trees sacred to Poseidon, the earth shaker who favored Troy, and now shakes its foundations one last time with aftershocks of collapse. The god of horses births the beast that dooms his chosen city, divine loyalty fracturing under Olympian politics. Priam's final words, gasped as Neoptolemus strikes, invoke the very gods who abandon him. Behold, son of Peleus, the pity of the gods, a prophet's curse delivered in extremis. This plea hangs unanswered, the boy too consumed by inherited rage to register its weight. Troy's end is not random violence, but the inevitable product of godly neuroses colliding with human limits, a symphony of betrayal composed over 9 years of stalemate and culminating in this orchestrated frenzy. The flames die down, but the paradox endures. Immortals destroy to affirm their relevance. Mortals perish to prove their irrelevance. Yet even in annihilation, the structure reveals itself. A fractal pattern where individual tragedies mirror the cosmic one. Titanomachy, led to Neoptolemus's ship as slave, embodies the personal cost of collective doom. Her widowhood, a microcosm of Troy's widowhood to history. Polyxena, Priam's daughter, sacrificed on Achilles' tomb to appease his ghost, closes the circle of blood debt. Her throat opened where her brother's was dashed. Hecuba, queen reduced to dog by grief's transformation, crawls through the ruins barking madness at the sea. These fates, delivered with clinical inevitability, underscore the gods' thoroughness. No survivor left to nurse vengeance, no lineage spared to haunt the conquerors. The sack of Troy is total, not because Greeks hate Trojans, but because gods hate losing face. Their victory pyre a bonfire of all that defies Olympian decree. Float now an unanswered question over this devastation. If the gods engineered every step from apple to ashes, what freedom did mortals ever possess to alter the script? Paris judged, but was his choice his own, or Aphrodite's whisper in a shepherd's ear? Helen sailed, but under divine compulsion. Did she ever consent to the war her face provoked? Agamemnon commanded, yet winds stayed his fleet until daughter's blood bought passage. This query lingers as smoke over the plain, challenging the illusion of human agency in a cosmos scripted by immortals with grudges longer than the siege itself. The fall reveals not just a city's end, but the foundational lie of Greek myth. Choice exists only to heighten the tragedy of its futility. The sensory immersion returns with the dawn that breaks blood red over the Hellespont, illuminating fields strewn with unburied dead, vultures already tracing slow spirals above the feast. Greek ships bob in the harbor, their hulls stained with the paint of 10 years waiting, now eager for homeward voyage under God's fickle gaze. Odysseus stares at the smoldering skyline, calculating his own doomed journey, sensing perhaps the divine displeasure already coiling around his house in Ithaca. Aeneas, the sole Trojan granted escape by divine fiat, flees with his father and son toward a destiny that mocks this present ruin. Rome's founder born from Troy's corpse. The architecture of betrayal stands complete. Every god's handprint visible in the ash, every mortal struggle reduced to footnotes in the epic of Olympian ego. Troy's flames mark not an end, but the ignition point for cycles of vengeance that will echo through every myth to come. You have witnessed Troy's flames, felt the gods' cold gaze upon the slaughter, sensed the paradox of immortals who destroy with the petulance of scorned lovers. That disorientation was no accident. It is the first fracture in the facade you thought you knew. Greek mythology is not a pantheon of noble protectors watching over heroic mortals from marble thrones. It is a psychological maelstrom, a family of traumatized immortals whose eternal lives amplify every flaw into cosmic catastrophe, trapping humanity in their crossfire. By the end of this journey, you will not merely know the myths. You will understand their architecture of dread, the reverence that tempers terror at the truth of divine imperfection. Stay with me, and what emerges from these ashes will reframe every statue, every story, every assumption you carry about the gods. First, let us destroy the comfortable lie that has softened these tales for centuries. The sanitized Olympian family, portrayed in museums and movies as bickering but benevolent giants. Zeus does not merely philander, he rapes and shapeshifts to ensnare, his appetites leaving bloodlines of monsters and madness across the earth. Hera's jealousy is not comic relief, but systematic torture, cursing innocence with serpents and madness for slights, never their own. Athena springs fully armored from her father's skull, yet craves mortal validation through wars that leave cities like Troy in cinders. Poseidon shakes the earth not in justice but in tantrums, drowning coastal villages when his horses lose races or his temples lack garlands. This is no divine court, it is a psychiatric ward where the patients wield lightning, their eternity a prison amplifying neuroses into apocalypses that mortals pay for in flesh and bone. The Disney veil lifts further when you grasp the core paradox. Gods who need worship from creatures they despise, immortals whose power depends on fear disguised as awe. They demand temples built by slave labor, sacrifices of firstborn lambs and bulls, hymns chanted through famine and plague, yet repay devotion with caprice, turning on priests like Laukin who question the wooden horse's gift. Apollo, god of prophecy and music, flays the satyr Marsyas alive for daring to challenge his lyre, then hangs the skin as a warning in a cave where winds still whisper screams. Artemis slaughters Niobe's children not for insult, but excess pride, her arrows finding wombs and nurseries with surgical precision. Demeter starves the world for a daughter's kidnapping she herself enabled through neglect, her grief weaponized against harvest fields mortals, till with desperate hands. Reverence endures because survival demands it. The gods' flaws are not footnotes but the foundation, their imperfections the force that births every hero's quest and every city's fall. Now consider what you stand to gain from piercing this veil. Not trivia about thunderbolts or labyrinths, but the psychological blueprint of power unchecked by mortality. You will see Zeus not as king, but as abuser-in-chief, his oaths broken as casually as he breaks maidens, fathering rivals he later chains to mountains or exiles to Tartarus. Hera emerges as the true architect of systemic cruelty, her vendettas against Zeus's bastards creating cycles of vengeance that propel the Trojan War from apple to ashes. Poseidon reveals himself as the unstable enforcer, earthquakes his therapy for wounded pride, floods his response to perceived ingratitude from sailors who pray to him only in storms. Athena's wisdom proves selective, arming Greek heroes while cursing Arachne to eternal spiderhood for truthful tapestry. This understanding transforms myth from bedtime stories to a mirror of authority's darkest drives, ambition devouring its own children, loyalty purchased with terror, genius inseparable from sadism. The popular version crumbles under one bitter truth. These gods were born from violence, their rule established through fratricide and castration, and violence is their native tongue. Cronus devoured his offspring not from mythologic fancy but literal terror of prophecy, swallowing whole the siblings Zeus would free with a metic and earthquake. Rhea hid her youngest not from maternal instinct but cold calculation, tricking the devouring father with a stone swaddled in royal cloth. The Titanomachy that followed was no noble rebellion, but genocidal war, gods vomiting up allies to hurl mountains at kin who birthed them from primordial ooze. Even victory brought no peace. Zeus chains Prometheus for fire's gift, Poseidon battles Athena for patronage, Hera plots eternal coups against her husband's wandering eye. Troy burns because this family dynamic, scaled to immortality, permits no other outcome. Human wars mirror divine dysfunction. Our blood the ink for their grudges. What you thought were isolated tales, a Minotaur here, an Odyssey there, reveal themselves as fractal echoes of the same primal rupture. Every hero's hubris, every monster's rage, every prophecy's twist traces back to Olympian insecurities projected onto mortal clay. Heracles strangles serpents sent by Hera not because she's evil, but because Zeus's infidelity wounds her eternally. Her stepson, the living reminder of cuckoldry no divorce can erase. Perseus beheads Medusa under Athena's aegis, yet the goddess who aided him wears the severed head as trophy, her virgin armor decorated with petrified screams. Jason's Argonauts sail for a fleece stained by divine greed, the gods' appetites for gold and glory outstripping any mortal kings. This is the emotional benefit promised, seeing the connective tissue of dread that binds Labyrinth to Troy, Titan to mortal, making each myth not random fable but inevitable symptom of godly pathology. A small detail reframes everything you've absorbed. The Olympians' thrones, forged by Hephaestus, the crippled god they once hurled from heaven, symbolize their rule built on betrayal of their own. Chained naked to Ida's peak after defying Hera, his mother, he hammered vengeance into gold while eagles tore his mother's sacred cows, yet crafted seats of power for the family that maimed him. This paradox of the abused artisan serving his abusers threads through every myth, gods demanding loyalty from those they cripple, worship from those they devour. Zeus fathers Hephaestus on Hera alone, a parthenogenetic revenge for Athena's skull birth, then rejects the limping son as monstrous. Yet without that rejected god's forge, no lightning bolts terrify, no armor saves Achilles, no necklace curses the Pleiades. The facade shatters completely when you realize power's furniture rests on the backs of its own victims, eternity's throne rooms echoing with unacknowledged screams. Pull closer now to the intimate authority that guides you through this labyrinth. I have traced these myths not through school books or Hollywood, but through the fragments where gods bleed human frailty, Hesiod's theogonic horrors, Homer's divine domestic squabbles glimpsed between bronze clashes, Aeschylus's choruses wailing cosmic injustice. What follows dismantles chronology for revelation, entering each saga at its most psychologically charged rupture before rewinding to expose the fractures that made tragedy inevitable. You will meet Prometheus not as firebringer first, but liver-pecked on his crag, then trace the defiant calculus that chained him there eternally. Theseus confronts the Minotaur's horns before navigating the threadless return, revealing Ariadne's abandonment as the labyrinth's true heart. The Trojan horse rolls through gates before Paris's apple bounces, exposing the judgment of goddesses as war's primordial sin. Trust this path, for it reveals what linear telling conceals, the gods' eternity as slow-motion catastrophe, their flaws compounding across eons into human dooms. One cold, ironic sentence lands without development. The gods who forbid mortals to peer too closely into fate spend eternity spying on our bedrooms and battlefields, their voyeurism the price of omnipotence. This intrusion without consent defines their rule. Zeus as golden shower to Danae, swan to Leda, bull to Europa, each metamorphosis a violation rationalized as divine will. Hera watches Io transformed to cow, grazing miserably while Argus's 100 eyes catalog her lowing despair. Athena oversees Arachne's weaving contest with competitive glee, then spiders the loser forever. Apollo pursues Daphne through riverbanks, until Laurel stiffens her flight into foliage he crowns himself with victoriously. Immortals peer where mortals cannot, yet blind themselves to their own unraveling psyches, demanding from us the introspection they evade. Worship becomes therapy for divine dysfunction. Our altars, the couch where gods confess through catastrophe. The promise solidifies in this destruction of illusions. You will emerge understanding why reverence persists amid revulsion. Why ancient Greeks built Parthenons atop mass graves of their own wars. Not despite the gods' flaws, but because of them. Immortals mirror our worst impulses magnified, offering catharsis through mythic extremity. Oedipus blinds himself not merely for incest, but to escape the gods' cruel foresight that made avoidance impossible. Antigone buries her brother against Creon's decree, divine law trumping mortal, her rock tomb the price of piety in a world where gods value gesture over life. Orpheus loses Eurydice twice because Hades honors rules more than mercy, the underworld's bureaucracy as rigid as Olympus's hierarchies. This journey grants you the intellectual transformation of seeing myth as diagnostic tool, X-raying power, family, fate through immortal fractures that illuminate our own fragile clay. Float now an unanswered question to haunt the chapters ahead. If gods require our worship to affirm their existence, what happens when mortals like Prometheus dare to equalize the scales with fire or reason? This query lingers as we prepare to plunge into chaos, the primordial abyss before even titans walked, where paradoxes of creation first birthed the family dysfunction that consumes Troy centuries later. The sanitized tales promised heroes and harmony. What follows delivers the raw architecture, the void's hunger, Gaia's bloody womb, Uranus's severed lust seeding monsters that titans would inherit. You have the map now, the warning that this is no fable collection but psychological excavation. 90 minutes of dread reverence unspooling the truth behind marble smiles. The facade lies in shards at your feet. Step forward into the abyss that made gods necessary and mortals their eternal prey. Before there were gods or men, before Olympus rose or Troy burned, there existed only chaos, a yawning, insatiable void that hungered not for form but for the agony of endless potential. This was no peaceful nothingness, but a writhing abyss where opposites collided without resolution, lightless maw devouring its own possibilities in perpetual frustration. From this seething non-existence stumbled the first entities, not born of intention, but spat out like indigestible bones from the void's gullet. Gaia the earth, Tartarus the pit, Eros the cruel compulsion to couple. Yet even their emergence brought no order, only paradox. A world mother who birthed monsters, an underworld pregnant with torment, a love that raped rather than united. The cosmos began as active malice, a force that shaped reality through rejection rather than embrace, its children already marked for conflict before they drew breath. This primordial paradox set the stage for every divine betrayal, every mortal doom that followed. Gaia, vast and fertile yet violently autonomous, embodied the world's first active force, a Mother Earth who coupled with her own son Uranus to people the planet with titans, only to curse the Skyfather's smothering closeness. Uranus' starry vault stretched taut over Gaia's curves, showered her womb with seed that quickened into giants whose footsteps shook nascent mountains, their forms too vast for the cradle he provided. But as progeny multiplied, Oceanus encircling all, Hyperion igniting dawns, Mnemosyne whispering memories into stone, Uranus grew fearful, shoving suns back into Gaia's belly where they writhed in darkness, her groans echoing through formless veils. This was the first paradox of creation, a father who sired to dominate, a mother who birthed to be burdened, their union producing not harmony, but the seeds of cosmic filicide. The world acted not as benevolent stage, but as jealous progenitor. Demanding obedience from children, it simultaneously feared and resented. Every later Olympian cruelty traces to this original parental pathology. immortals learning violence at the hearth of existence itself. Now meet the true misfits, the Titans, Gaia's first litter, each a paradox of elemental power caged by familial dread, their greatness the very reason for their imprisonment. Cronus, youngest and craftiest, received from Mother the sickle of flint that whispered revolution, its edge promising liberation through gore. Uranus descended that fated night, his starry loins seeking Gaia's depths, unaware the blade waited in shadows where earth met sky. With one terrible swing, Cronus severed the generative root, Skyfather's ichor spraying like black wine across the fields, those spilled drops hardening into the first warriors, Eris Strifebringer, Aphrodite foam-born from castration's foam. Yet victory soured instantly. Cronus, liberator turned tyrant, married sister Rhea and swallowed each child at birth, prophecy's shadow driving him to devour what he sired. The Titans reigned from golden thrones atop Mount Othrys, but their rule rested on regurgitated siblings and a mother's silenced screams, misfits ruling a world that birthed them only to bind them in cycles of violence. The initial catalyst crystallized in Rhea's desperation, womb swollen with sixth child Zeus, while Cronus paced, sickle now rusted symbol of failed emancipation. She slipped to Crete's hidden caves, birthing the thunder baby on bloodied straw, bathing him in mountain nymph's milk while wrapping stone in swaddling to feed her husband. Cronus gulped the rock, mistaking it for squirming infant, his gut now leaden with deception as Gaia and Uranus's curse ripened. The son would overthrow the father, as father overthrew grandfather. Zeus grew in secret, suckled by goat Amalthea, whose horn spilled endless plenty, tended by Melissa bees, whose honey masked the cave's damp rot. When of age, he slipped emetic into uncle's wine, triggering volcanic wretch that birthed Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, siblings armored for war, their first breath vengeance. This catalyst ignited Titanomachy, but its paradox endures. Liberation through regurgitation, freedom purchased with familial vomit, the world's first revolution, staining golden age with bile. Deeper into the world's active malice, Gaia, post-castration, birthed not peace but further grotesqueries from Uranus's severed sex, sons too monstrous for any cosmos, daughters whose embraces shattered stone. The Erinyes, vengeance maidens with serpent hair and whip handles of live scorpions, emerged to hound parricides eternally, their eyes weeping blood for every filial crime. The Gigantes, earthborn giants with legs of serpents and breath of sulfur, clawed toward heaven, plotting to rape divine order into submission. Nereus, the old man of the sea, shape-shifted loyalties while fathering 50 daughters, whose waves drowned the unwary. Typhon, the storm-stormer, 100-headed hydra, whose hiss shattered mountains. These were Gaia's protest against sky domination, her womb weaponizing rejection to birth forces that no paternal vault could contain. The primordial earth acted with vengeful fecundity, populating reality not to nurture but to destabilize, her children the misfit architects of a cosmos forever pregnant with apocalypse. Cronus, as protagonist misfit, reveals maximum psychological depth. Devouring father turned devoured, his tyranny born from legitimate terror of the oracle's truth that children unswallowed would chain him as he chained uncles. Each swallowed sibling stretched his immortal gut, Hestia burning eternally in belly fireplace, Demeter starving his insides with withheld grain, Hera plotting silent coups from womb prison. He ruled the golden age with scepter of opal and throne of amber, yet paced Othrys heights sleepless, haunted by visions of thunder-wielding infant nursed in distant caves. His flaw, greatness defined by successful coup, doomed him to repeat paternal smothering, unable to trust even Rhea, whose loyalty birthed his betrayal. Publicly, the wise arbiter who separated mortals from beasts with law, privately the bloated monster digesting his own lineage, Cronus embodied the Titan paradox: power gained through liberation, sustained through consumption, destined to end in cathartic emesis. His internal contradictions made other choices impossible. He devoured because he freed, ruled because he feared, fell because he reproduced. A microcycle inserts now. What compels a cosmos to birth order from disorder, only to immediately plot its own overthrow? Gaia's womb, the eternal engine of revolution. This unanswered question floats as we trace the uncle's prison. Hundred-handers Briareus, Cottus, Gyges chained in Tartarus depths, where their 50 heads wailed counterpoint to Cyclopean forges hammering thunderbolts. Zeus freed them first, their gratitude weaponized into mountain-hurling frenzy against Othrys, each boulder a boulder of accumulated grievance. Themis, Oracle, confirmed Cronus's doom while secretly favoring nephew, her scales already tipped toward Olympian youth. Oceanus stayed neutral, his river circle preserving distance from fratricidal peaks, while Helios charioted indifferently above the fray. Prometheus, foreseeing Olympian tyranny mirroring Titan, warned his uncles too late. Their golden age bled into bronze warfare, paradise paved with familial entrails. Sensory immersion re-anchors us in Titanomachy trenches, the air thick with ozone from Cyclopean lightning, ground quaking as Gyges uprooted pines to brain Hecaton Chira's brothers turned enemies. Titan blood, silver ichor thinner than Uranus's black, sprayed arcs that birthed new springs, poisonous to drinkers, their rivers running backward toward wounded peaks. Rhea watched from Ida, hands clawing stone as Zeus's storms drowned her husband's war cries, each thunderclap reminder of the babe she saved, now destroying her world. Cronus hurled harvest sickle, now flaming arc, slicing clouds to reveal starry father, laughing from Empyrean distance. Olympus, still mountain-not palace, shuddered under Atlas's vault-straining shoulders, the Titan holding sky while brothers fell around him. This was creation's paradox made flesh. Children warring over cradle they dirtied with first patricide, world watching its architects slaughter for right, to deform it further. The world's paradoxes chain tighter. Primordial chaos birthed entities that immediately hierarchized, Eros compelling couplings that produced confinement, night-weaving shadows that strangled infant stars. Gaia birthed Uranus only to reject his embrace, her preference for distance sparking the flint sickle revolution that echoed through Titan bellies. Oceanus's freshwater daughters mingled with salty Nereids in procreation that flooded coastal plains. Poseidon's future trident furies previewed in Nereid tempests. Hyperion's children, Helios, Selene, Eos, drove chariots before roads existed, their light exposing familial horrors no darkness could hide. Mnemosyne remembered every grievance, her daughters muses later chronicling Olympian triumphs over Titan mothers with selective verse. Existence began as active force demanding worship from its own spawn, temples of bone and altars of afterbirth, the first sacred architecture. Protagonist Cronus's misfit escalates, publicly arbiter of golden age where lions suckled lambs and earth yielded fruit unplanted, privately tormented by gut siblings plotting regurgitation. He consulted oracles obsessively, sacrificing black sheep whose entrails spelled doom in convoluted patterns, each reading confirming the unswallowable truth. Rhea feigned loyalty while signaling caves with mountain fires, her marital bed now dagger-concealing shroud. His greatness, successful overthrow of starry tyrant, blinded him to replication, sickle swinger's son becoming the smotherer he freed uncles from. Internal captivity tripled, external expectations as Titan King demanded prosperity, internal conviction that prophecy ruled inexorably. Circumstances of his own fertility, ensuring the agent of downfall suckled at Cretan teats. This psychological architecture made abdication impossible. He devoured because he liberated, chained himself through children he could not trust to not chain him. One cold, ironic sentence without development. The Titan who freed his uncles from underground chains spent eternity chained himself by the prophecy he sought to devour. This paradox threads into Catalyst's full bloom. Zeus matured, army assembled from regurgitated siblings and freed monstrosities, assaulting Othrys with storms that lasted 10 generations. Cronus vomited not just siblings, but primordial order itself. His defeat, birthing the hierarchy that would consume Troy millennia hence. Atlas condemned to hold the very sky his grandfather lost. Hecatoncheires guarding Tartarus gates, they once pounded from inside. The Golden Age ended, not with mortal sin, but divine indigestion. Paradise's fruit bitter with sibling stomach acid. Act 0 closes with world established as active betrayer. Titans as misfit architects of their own dungeon. Catalyst, igniting the Olympian neurosis that burns eternal. Float final unanswered question. If creation began with parental mutilation and filial consumption, what hope exists for peace in a cosmos whose family therapy requires world-ending wars? Gaia slumbered uneasily beneath new masters, her womb still stirring with giants to test Olympian rule, the cycle fractal at every scale. Cronus exiled to cave existence, chewing figs while thunder rumbled overhead, his sickle-rusted monument to failed emancipation. The primordial paradoxes persist, void birthing confinement, earth weaponizing fertility, sky demanding submission it cannot enforce. This world needed gods not to order chaos, but to perpetuate its essential conflict, mortals mere kindling for eternal, familial bonfire. From this abyss, Olympus rose, blinking into light, already paranoid heirs to a legacy of devoured children and severed genitals. Their thrones unstable foundations of regurgitated stone. Thunder cracks the vault of heaven, shaking Othrys's golden spires as Zeus hurls his first Cyclopean bolt, the jagged lightning searing Cronus's chest and igniting his beard like dry tinder. The Titan King staggers, regurgitated siblings still bitter on his tongue, clutching the rusted sickle that once freed him, now useless against nephew's storm. Mountains crumble into the sea as Hecatoncheires unleash 50 heads fury, boulders the size of islands pulping Titan ranks while their 100 arms juggle stone and flame. Ichor rivers run backward toward wounded peaks, silver blood nourishing fields that will one day feed Trojan horses. This is no clean rebellion. It is fratricidal frenzy, brother against uncle, vomit children against swallower, the cosmos convulsing as new order devours old through 10 generations of unrelenting war. Zeus stands at the eye, face etched not with triumph, but torment. The reluctant kingmaker who freed monsters to chain family, his thunder masking profound doubt. The conflict presents itself in cataclysmic scale. Titans rooted atop Othrys like ancient oaks, Atlas shouldering preliminary sky while hurling it as weapon, Caius wielding intellect as ice spears, Crius binding winds into tornado prisons. Zeus counters with regurgitated pantheon, Poseidon trident, stabbing earth to flood Titan trenches, Hades marshalling Tartarus shades to sap morale, Hera weaving curses into battle hymns that curdle enemy ichor, Cyclopes, Arges, Brontes, Sterops forge endlessly, their single eyes reflecting forges hotter than sun hearts, birthing bolts, helmets, aegis that turn the tide from stalemate to slaughter. Yet victory eludes clean lines. Oceanus withdraws his river support. Themis shifts oracular favor. Mnemosyne's daughters already rehearsing Olympian epics while Titan mothers wail. The war becomes total war, immortals exhausting primordial energies in battles that scar the earth with chasms and volcanic scars still smoking when mortals first tremble. This first great conflict exposes Zeus's psychological fault line. Power won through familial gore, throne built on uncle corpses, kingship inseparable from kinslaying. Zeus's internal response festers beneath thunderous exterior. Nights on Olympus slopes where he paces alone, lightning-crackled hands trembling as visions plague him of Cronus's devouring maw, mirroring his own potential tyranny. Each bolt thrown feels like self-betrayal, the nephew who emetic freed siblings now chaining uncles to Tartarus depths, darker than their former womb prison. Doubt gnaws. Did prophecy compel this genocide, or did his ambition wear oracle's mask? Cretan nurture forging not just strength but ruthless calculus. Hera watches warily, sister wife sensing brother's hesitations, her loyalty conditional on swift victory over the mother she resents. Poseidon chafes at shared trident power. Hades broods in underworld corners, plotting dominion over surface dead. Hestia withdraws to hearth silence, fearing all thrones breed monsters. Zeus's psychological torment peaks when capturing elder uncle Iapetus, binding him not with chains but paternal grief. The Titan who sired Atlas, now watching sun, condemned to eternal sky burden. Zeus seeing his own future in mirrored paternal failure. Partial resolution comes hard-won after eon-measured years. Zeus storming Othrys's last bastion, where Cronus makes final stand, sickle flashing one last harvest of nephew's golden hair before thunder pulps his knee. The Titan king kneels, not defeated but disgorged. Last swallowed hopes vomiting forth as Olympus claims mountaintop, new pantheon staggering into sunlight, still reeking of familial entrails. Division of cosmos follows. Zeus claims storm-swept sky, Poseidon's salty trident domains. Hades receives shadow realm of dead by lot draw. Hera refused, the sisters parceling earth while earth itself grumbles beneath new masters. Yet this resolution births deeper wound. Prometheus the forethinker, spared for his battlefield aid, gazes upon chained titans with growing disillusion, sensing Olympian victory, merely replaces one stomach prison with iron manacles. Typhon stirs in Gaia's womb, hundred-headed harbinger of unfinished business, his birth hiss previewing Zeus's next fratricidal crisis. The first cycle closes not with peace, but pregnant tension, thunder god's brow furrowed by victories that feel like defeats. Deeper into Zeus's tormented psyche, each uncle chained recalls Cronus's devouring terror he emetic cured, yet now replicates through binding what he freed. The liberator become jailer through necessity's cold arithmetic. Publicly, he projects Sky King authority, lightening his scepter, convincing lesser gods and future mortals of unassailable rule. Banquets on Olympus where nectar flows to drown doubt. Privately, the weight crushes, nightmares of rusted sickle plunging toward his own throat. Hera's whispers questioning if Cretan cave forged savior or monster. Siblings' glances measuring him against swallowed past. His flaw that defined greatness, defying paternal prophecy through armed regurgitation, now ensures fate's repetition. Every chain forged echoes Uranus severed. Every victory sows rebellion's seed. Poseidon tests trident limits flooding coastal shrines demanding precedence. Hera plots marital coups disguised as fertility rites. Demeter withdraws grain testing famine thresholds. Zeus rules as prisoner of his own successful coup, thunder masking internal conviction that power devours its wielders as surely as Cronus devoured children. Microcycle inserts. Why does the prophecy dodger become prophecy's agent? Zeus chaining exactly as he was chained, Sky Throne the new devouring stomach. This unanswered question haunts, as War's Aftermath reveals supporting cast. Hera as pragmatic disapproving authority, demanding Titan blood erase Titan Mother Rhea's shadow from their marriage bed. Themis serves as loyal intellectual ally, defending Zeus's partition publicly while privately fearing Gaia's next gestation of giants. Oceanus emerges unexpected rival, his circumpolar neutrality forcing Zeus to conquer rather than inherit water realms, trident lots mere diplomatic fiction. Cyclopes, faithful intimates once imprisoned, now forge weapons that chain their former Titan allies. Their single eyes witnessing fratricidal poetry they hammer into bronze. Hecatonchires embody powerful institutional opponents, turned enforcers. 100 arms that once pounded Tartarus, now guarding it against vengeful uncles. These figures orbit Zeus's rise, each interaction amplifying his reluctant kingship's psychological toll. Sensory immersion drops us into Victory Banquet's hollow revelry. Nectar tastes metallic with ichor aftertaste. Ambrosia sticks throat-clogged with unsaid grievances. Lyre music discordant against distant Tartarus wails, filtering through stone. Zeus drains golden chalice, lightning veins pulsing under skin as Hera's fingers trace expected patterns on his thigh, her eyes calculating rather than caressing. Poseidon slams trident butt resounding marble, waves crashing phantom echoes through feasting hall, demanding sea realm precedence. Hera diplomatically deflects. Hades sends shadow proxies bearing underworld gems, his absence louder than presence. Demeter's grain crowns wilting on victory wreaths. Hestia tends central fire whose flames leap unnaturally toward chained peak directions, smoke forming shapes of struggling titans no one acknowledges. This celebration reeks of fragile triumph, immortals feasting atop uncle corpses while Gaia's earth rumbles, warning of incomplete conquest. Zeus's psychological response cycles deeper through post-war consolidation. Paranoia festers as Prometheus lectures on fire's necessity for mortal evolution, his forethought challenging Sky King's monopoly on enlightenment. Each chained uncle becomes spectral counselor, Cronus whispering from exile that victors taste devouring next, Atlas's eternal strain mocking Zeus's brief throne resting. Hera births Hephaestus alone as skull-birth revenge, the limping forge god hurled from Olympus. Testing paternal limits, Zeus fears crossing with own offspring. Public image solidifies through lightning monuments, scarring prominent peaks. Mortal tribes cowering at storms now attributed to new master's will rather than Titan whim. Private reality fractures, sleepless atop eagle perch thrones. Thunder God consults Themis oracles confirming endless challenges ahead, each prophecy echoing Cronus's gut doubts. The flaw escalating his greatness now determines fate. Coup leader cannot trust progeny. Sky ruler must chain what he sires. Reluctant kingmaker doomed to devour his own golden age. Contrast characters sharpen Zeus's torment. Hera, the disapproving spouse embodying risked destruction of marital empire built on shared regurgitation trauma. Prometheus, the intellectual ally defending sky rule publicly, privately fearing fire gift will chain him as chained uncles, his warnings ignored as necessary madness. Hecatonchires serve as faithful intimates, their monstrous loyalty purchased through freedom now enforcing hundredfold chains on former peers. Oceanus charts as powerful institutional opponent, his river encirclement neutral zone forcing diplomatic partition rather than conquest, water god's indifference more threatening than open war. Themis mirrors Zeus's internal contradictions, oracle scales tipping toward Olympian necessity while grieving Titan lineage, her counsel both validation and condemnation. These relationships web Zeus's reluctant rise, each interaction refracting his psychological architecture. Thunder masks torment, kingship conceals captivity, victory whispers inevitable downfall. One cold, ironic sentence lands. The god who emetic freed siblings to overthrow devouring father now devours peace through endless chaining, his lightning the new stomach acid. Partial resolution's deeper wound bleeds through Typhon's birth. Gaia's final protest, 100 serpent heads hissing prophecy, Zeus cannot swallow, wings shadowing sun as infant monstrosity claws toward paternal throne. This new threat forces Zeus into second reluctant war, swallowing pregnant Metis to preempt wisdom daughter devouring his rule, the cycle fractal at every scale. Cronus chews figs in cave exile, sickle gathering dust as nephew repeats paternal pathologies writ cosmic. Poseidon chafes trident realm limits, Hera plots fertility curses, Hades marshals dead for next uprising, Demeter starves earth testing limits. Act 1 closes with first tension cycle complete, yet eternally pregnant. Zeus rises not as triumphant king, but tormented architect of his own devouring cosmos, thunder echoing hollow victories over familial entrails. Float unanswered question shadowing next escalations. If coup leader becomes coup's victim through identical sins, does Zeus merely delay Cronus's prophecy or fulfill it through succession? Typhon's 100 heads multiply grievances as Mount Etna vomits his imprisonment, earth pregnant with further rebellion. Hera watches husband's paranoia sharpen into tyranny, birthing monsters to test paternal limits he fears crossing. Prometheus counts chains, foreseeing his own liver-pecked future in Titan fates, fire gift calculus shifting from aid to defiance. The first cycle's partial resolution reveals deeper wound. Olympian order, built to exclude Titans, merely incubates next familial apocalypse, sky throne devouring peace as Cronus devoured children. Zeus stands amid smoldering Othrys, lightning hand trembling, sensing reluctant kingship demands eternal vigilance. Familial fury's first cycle, merely prelude to immortal neurosis consuming eternity itself. Golden light bathes marble halls where Zeus holds court. Thunder scepter raised as mortals below carve his likeness into mountainsides, their hymns rising like incense to affirm Sky King's unassailable majesty. Yet beyond those columns, in shadowed alcoves where no worshipper treads, he transforms into white bull mounting Europa on Cretan shores, or golden rain piercing Danae's bronze chamber to sow Perseus in womb prison. Public splendor depicts the arbiter who partitioned cosmos with brothers, lightening his justice balancing mortal scales from Mycenae to Thebes. Private reality reveals the serial violator whose appetites birth monsters, Minos's wife Pasiphae, craving wooden bulls, Leda birthing Helen whose face dooms Troy, Callisto torn to she-bear by Artemis's silver arrow. This hidden dimension surfaces now, Olympian masks cracking to expose the depravities powering divine facades, their eternity a double life where public piety funds private perversions. The point of no return approaches as Prometheus watches, fire gift calculus shifting from loyalty to rebellion against thrones built on mortal rape. Zeus's public image as paternal protector fractures first. Temples overflow with offerings from Agamemnon's Mycenae, where kings claim descent from his loins while sacrificing daughters to appease allied goddesses. Worshippers see Cloud Gatherer who sent golden apples to test Atalanta's speed, wise arbiter whose eagles snatch Ganymede for cup-bearing immortality. Behind the facade lurks the predator who swore oaths to Hera, then shattered them systematically. Io driven mad as horned heifer across continents. Leto pursued until twin birth on floating Delos. Semele incinerated by unveiled glory demanding mortal worship. Each conquest leaves collateral carnage. Hera's serpents throttling Heracles' cradle. Artemis slaying Niobe's children for maternal boasting. Poseidon flooding coastal cities when sea nymph lovers reject his brine-heavy embrace. The Sky King's double life escalates contradiction. Lightning purifies while seed defiles. Thunder commands reverence while lust demands flesh. Eternity's isolation amplifying appetites no mortal marriage could contain. Hera knows every infidelity, yet maintains marital throne, her vengeance targeting bastards rather than husband. Olympian realpolitik, demanding facade preservation above justice. Hera emerges as supreme contrast character, queen whose public grace hosts nectar feasts while private reality orchestrates torture with clinical devotion to wounded pride. Worshipped as marriage protectress, her temples receive bridal veils, stained with Zeus's indiscretions, redirected onto innocent lovers. Echo reduced to voice-repeating nymph mocking her own silenced love. Urana transformed to crane for outshining divine beauty. Yet even Hera's cruelty stems from gilded cage, wed to brother conqueror whose coup she aided through regurgitated womb, now second fiddle to every mortal maiden Zeus pursues. Her double life peaks in Heracles' persecution. Stepson labored 12 times not for redemption, but humiliation. Golden apples of Hesperides stolen, while Hera's eagle pecks eternal liver on Caucasus Peak. Publicly, the faithful intimate whose hearth anchors Olympus against Gaia's rumblings. Privately, the vengeful spouse weaponizing fertility curses against husband's lineage. This painful contrast forces Zeus's hand toward point of no return. Chain Prometheus, who aids Heracles, silencing fire gift that threatens divine monopoly on enlightenment. The hidden dimension thickens with Poseidon's sea realm duplicity. Publicly Earthshaker, who sends white-crested waves bearing Greek triremes to Troy, worshipped by fishermen stringing first catch across trident altars. Private reality reveals the violator whose mares birth man-eating colts. Demeter pursued in furrow-grooved guise until mare birth of monster Arion. Caenis transformed, then re-raped despite pledged invulnerability. Athens' patronage contested with Athena through salt spring that withered olive tree challenger. Earthquakes his petulant response to civic rejection. His double life mirrors Zeus's. Trident commands fleets, while tentacles grasp unwilling Nereids. Earthquakes humble hubris, while floods punish piety-lacking shores. Public image as fertile sea lord bringing abundance clashes with private tantrums drowning Minos' navy when tribute falters, whitecaps stained with sailor blood. Olympian hypocrisy amplifies through water god, whose realm encircles deceit. Surface calm concealing abyssal appetites, no coastal shrine appeases. Athena's virgin warrior facade cracks strategically. Publicly wisdom's embodiment arming Odysseus with victory stratagems. Patroness whose olive tree crowns Athens, while Aegis terrifies giants. Yet her gaze favors male proxies exclusively. Arachne spidered for tapestry depicting very rapes. Athena ignores. Medusa beheaded, then worn as trophy, whose petrifying stare punishes female gaze. Double life reveals competitive intellect, craving mortal validation through Trojan horse cunning and Argonaut navigation. Her wisdom selective toward patriarchal ends. Publicly chaste counselor born from skull wound glory, privately voyeur to father's serial violations, she enables through strategic silence. Hera despises this favored daughter in spirit, their rivalry fueling judgments like Paris Apple that ignite world wars. Athena's mask maintains Olympian order, while concealing the virgin who decorates armor with raped monsters' heads, wisdom inseparable from sanctioned violence. Point of no return crystallizes through Prometheus' introduction, loyal rebel whose public heroism freed Zeus from Cronus' gut, now privately fears Olympian tyranny, mirroring Titan consumption. Fire gifted to shivering mortals huddled in caves, his clay-shaping sparks civilization Zeus resents as competition for worship, thunderbolts paling against hearthglow progress. Epimetheus receives Pandora as compensation bride, her jar unleashing miseries Zeus sanctioned to counter Promethean enlightenment, the Titan's brother unwittingly enabling divine rebalance. Publicly, the forethinker who tipped Titanomachy scales through Cyclopean forge direction, privately tormented by foresight of eagle chains awaiting defiance. Hera deploys him against Heracles' labors, golden apples stolen under her curse, while Prometheus counts days until liver-renewing torment begins. This contrast figure forces Zeus across threshold, binding the uncle savior who birthed Olympian victory, sows seeds of cosmic rebellion, fire's spark igniting eternal divine neurosis. Microcycle inserts unanswered question. If gods demand worship through public benefaction while committing private atrocities, what sustains mortal reverence when masks slip during Trojan slaughters? Apollo's dual life amplifies hypocrisy, publicly sun charioteer healing through oracle vapors, privately flaying Marsyas for lyre challenge, pursuing Daphne until laurel transformation crowns his own brow. Hyacinthus discus kills orchestrated through rival Zephyr winds, boys' blood-birthing flowers that spell eternal mourning. Demeter's public grain-mother facade conceals neglect enabling Persephone's rape-plucking, her famine punishing Earth for Hades' underworld bride theft. Artemis slays Orion accidentally while publicly hunting eternal chastity, her arrows finding Actaeon's hounds turning him stag for voyeuristic bath glimpse. Dionysus revels publicly liberate through wine madness, privately driving Pentheus mad to witness mother-tearing Bacchic frenzy. Olympian double lives fractal across pantheon, public divinity funding private depravities that demand ever-escalating mortal sacrifice. Sensory immersion plunges into Zeus's secret tryst. Olive oil slick on Danae's skin as golden rain coalesces into infant grip, bronze chamber echoing with Hera's distant thunder suspiciously timed. Nectar breath mingles with mortal fear sweat during Europa's bull mounting on springtime meads, waves lapping Crete shores where Minos will drown sailors refusing monstrous tribute. Poseidon's Nereid embraces taste of salt and unwilling tears, trident castle depths where unwilling consorts birth sea monsters shipped yearly to coastal kings. Hera inhales incense from Semele's incineration pyres, golden throne creaking as she restrains urge to confront husband directly, channeling rage into stepson labors instead. Athena polishes Medusa trophy Aegis, Gorgon eyes staring blankly while Arachne spiders weave webs across mortal looms she once judged. This immersive duplicity perfumes Olympus, ambrosia laced with violation, lyres tuned to screams reverbing from chained peaks. Supporting characters orbit these double lives, Hera as disapproving authority, demanding Zeus curtail bastard spawn proliferation, threatening her primacy. Prometheus serves loyal intellectual ally, defending fire necessity publicly, while fearing Zeus's chains privately, his warnings ignored as Promethean hubris. Themis, oracle mirrors divine contradictions, scales tipping toward order maintenance despite grieving Titan relatives enchained below. Nereus, shape-shifting old man, embodies unexpected rival arriving independently at sea, secrets Zeus covets, his daughters drowning ships when Trident tribute falters. Hecaton Charis in force as institutional opponents, turned enforcers. 100 arms binding titans while witnessing Olympian rapes, they cannot halt. Epimetheus' faithful intimate receives Pandora whose miseries counter fire gift. His trusting enabling divine balance, Zeus maintains through terror. These figures amplify double life stakes, each interaction refracting godly masks through mortal consequences. One cold, ironic sentence cuts sharp. Gods who forbid mortals peering into fate spend eternity invading bedrooms and cradles, their omniscience voyeuristic license for depravity. Zeus's public reputation diverges catastrophically from private reality. Sky Father worshipped through phallic pillars while seeding monsters, lightning purifier leaving bloodlines of heroes who slay his own progeny. Hera's marital sanctity temples host brides whose wombs she curses, queenly grace veiling systematic infanticide campaigns against illegitimate half-siblings. Athena's wisdom weaves strategic victories while ignoring father's violations, enabling her virgin exceptionalism, Aegis Gorgon trophy, celebrating sanctioned female punishment. Poseidon's sea fertility brings fish harvests concealing man-eating horse births, earthquakes humbling cities that reject his monstrous tribute demands. The binding of titans marks point of no return. Their chains secure Olympian hypocrisy, uncle corpses paving marble for double lives where public worship funds private perversions. Deeper psychological contrasts escalate. Zeus, tormented by bastard proliferation, threatening throne stability. Hera weaponizes. Each rape baby potential, Cronus reincarnate challenging sky rule. Hera's private anguish festers from eternal second place despite coup partnership, channeling marital cage into vengeance rivaling Sky King's lust. Athena craves paternal validation through proxy wars while maintaining distance from familial depravities. She navigates strategically. Poseidon chafes at lot-drawn sea limits, flooding shrines when worship favors Athena's olive wisdom over his salt abundance. Apollo heals plague-stricken Thebes publicly while privately engineering Hyacinthus' tragedy through jealous winds. Demeter starves earth-testing Demeter loyalty while neglecting Persephone, whose rape she enabled through distracted motherhood. Act 2 closes with double lives entrenched, Olympian masks polished through mortal blood, point of no return crossed as Prometheus' fire illuminates depravities demanding eternal chains. Float haunting question forward. If God's public divinity depends on private atrocities mortals glimpse during wars like Troy, what fragile thread holds reverence when fire reveals the face behind marble? Pandora's jar miseries counterbalance enlightenment spreading through Promethean hearths, Zeus ordering eagle chains while Hera plots further labors. Themis oracles confirm cosmic balance requires double life maintenance, scales tip toward hypocrisy, sustaining eternity. Nereus warns sea daughters of coming mortal voyages, challenging divine monopolies, his shape-shifting neutrality testing Trident authority. Hecaton Charis pound Tartarus gates, holding titans who witness Olympian duplicity from depths. Act 2 escalates hidden dimensions surfacing, public splendor veiling depravities that propel Trojan judgments, golden masks cracking under fire glow, illuminating immortal neurosis, consuming cosmic order itself. Eagle talons sink into bare chest, ripping yesterday's liver free in a spray of arterial ichor that patters hot against Caucasus rock. The titan chained to eternal crag, screaming not defiance but animal agony as beak tears deeper. Prometheus, forethinker who tipped Titanomachy scales toward Olympian victory, now writhes under Zeus's vengeance for daring gift mortals fire, his arms wrenched wide by adamantine cuffs forged in cyclopean hate. legs splayed against unyielding stone where vultures circle expectant. Each dawn repeats the clinical horror. Noble beak plunges precise, extracting organ that regrows overnight through Titan resilience, only to renew torment when sun crests eastern ridges. Epimetheus watches helplessly from valley shadows. His Pandora received misery's jar, now mockery beside brother's calculated rebellion. This is no abstract theft. It is visceral rupture between immortals and clay-born humanity. Prometheus's daily evisceration, the emotional heart where divine cruelty meets Promethean conviction. The warnings came. He ignored them. Now, clinical precision carves his psychological reformatting. Rebel become prisoner of his own unswallowable truth. The ignored warning came first from Themis' oracle, scales tipped toward Zeus's monopoly, while whispering to nephew-turned-ally that fire gift would chain Caucasus stronger than any Titan uncle's Tartarus bonds. Prometheus nodded through warnings, his forethought calculating mortal enlightenment, outweighed eagle risks, clay-shaping hands already warm with stolen hearth glow. Epimetheus pled caution, brother afterthought receiving Pandora as divine counterbalance, her jar's miseries previewing Zeus's rebalancing arithmetic against Promethean progress. Hera reinforced through Heracles' labors, golden apples stolen under her curse, testing Titan loyalty, now fraying toward human sympathy. Oceanus circled neutral, shape-shifting old man advising sea retreat from Sky King's gathering storm, his Nereid daughters drowning early fire worshippers as ominous caution. Yet Prometheus pressed forward, scaling Olympus slopes under starless sky, palm cupped around flickering coal that burned his own flesh first, conviction blinding him to chains already forging in response. The warnings accumulated like storm clouds, each relative's plea refracted through his internal calculus, where mortal shivering trumped immortal wrath. Impact narrates with surgical detachment. Zeus summons Caucasus eagle, trained not wild, from Aerie, where it devoured Ganymede's lesser cupbearer rivals, beak-honed surgical through years consuming Hera's sacred cattle. First strike severs no vital artery, precision extracts liver lobe, maximal torment, minimal lethality, Titan flesh parting clean around organ, essential yet regenerative. Ichor pulses, rhythmic, hot copper tang filling mouth as Prometheus bites tongue, preventing screams that might validate Zeus's justice. Chained form arches against unyielding stone, polished smooth by eons of exposure, adamantine links singing tension harmonics with each convulsion. Epimetheus circles base weeping, Pandora's jar clutched futile talisman while Nereids sing dirges from black sea foam distance. Morning sun illuminates clinical tableau, eagle departed sated, Titan chest-hollowed red cavern steaming in mountain chill, forethinker reduced to biological rhythm of regrowth and reaving, deeper into ignored warnings architecture. Themis spoke not mere caution but prophecy. Fire illuminates divine depravities, mortals glimpse during Trojan scale slaughters, reverence fracturing when Clayborn see Zeus as rapist, not skyfather. Prometheus calculated risk, underestimated Hera's marital vendettas, weaponized against fire-warmed hearths birthing Zeus bastard challengers, her serpents now slithering toward civilized villages. Poseidon tested early settlements with quakes, when coastal shrines favored new hearth gods over trident offerings, sea realm demanding precedence fire threatened. Athena watched Arachne looms weaving Promethean enlightenment tapestries she judged hubristic, virgin wisdom sensing competition from Titan claycraft. Oceanus warned neutral rivers would flood fire-dependent agriculture, his circumpolar neutrality shifting against progress, challenging Olympian monopolies. Each warning accumulated psychological pressure. Prometheus converted to conviction. Fire not luxury, but evolutionary necessity, mortal clay demanding spark to transcend shivering savagery. Zeus preferred worshipful. Clinical precision governs daily ritual. Dawn reveals regrown liver plump beneath healing pectorals. Eagle's shadow precedes first downstroke, calculated avoiding diaphragm, rupture prolonging consciousness. Beak penetrates subcutaneous muscle parting layer, precise around hepatic portal, preserving blood pressure, maximal sensation, transmission. Extraction drags organ across exposed rib cage, nerve endings firing synesthetic fireworks. Liver pain manifesting thunderhead visions, ichor rivers flowing backward toward wounded Olympus like Cronus's regurgitated siblings. Prometheus counts respirations through torment, forethought enumerating biological constants. Regeneration cycle 16 hours, 40 minutes under Caucasus microclimate. Eagle digestion 7 hours permitting dawn return. Epimetheus documents from Valley, clay tablets recording wound geometries predicting Zeus's psychological warfare calculus. Torment calibrated breaking rebellion without killing symbol. This precision transforms abstract theft into biological sacrament. Titan body clockwork, proving divine sadism's technical perfection. Psychological reformatting begins 3rd month. Initial defiance fractures into doubt. Did mortal fire justify uncle corpses chained below? Witnessing this hypocrisy, Titanomachy victory, now revealed hollow. Forethought replays decision matrix. Probability, Zeus chains Defier 92% against mortal civilization. Acceleration factor 3.7, calculus shifting daily with each beak strike. Conviction hardening rather than breaking reveals Promethean architecture. Flaw-defining greatness was precisely calculated rebellion against familial precedent, now replicating Cronus, overthrow writ personal. Chained form visualizes Zeus pacing thunder throne, Sky King tormented by fire-spreading villages, reducing temple attendance. Hera plotting further labors, testing Promethean loyalty through Heracles' rescue mission. Epimetheus visits bearing Pandora offspring miseries as reminder divine balance restored. Yet Titan whispers through pain. Fire spreads despite Eagle, enlightenment viral beyond chains. Reformation completes not surrender but evolution. Prometheus emerges psychologically immune, liver renewal mirroring mortal progress, inexorable against divine monopoly. Microcycle inserts unanswered question floating forward. If warnings came layered from every Olympian quarter, yet Prometheus proceeded. What internal conviction made obedience psychologically impossible? Epimetheus embodies contrast, faithful, intimate receiving Pandora compensation, whose jar counterbalances fire gift, his afterthought trusting Zeus's arithmetic while witnessing brother's clinical torment. Themis serves loyal intellectual ally, oracle scales defending Promethean necessity publicly while fearing Caucasus precedent for future rebels. Hera charts disapproving authority figure, marital throne demanding fire monopoly preservation against bastard challenger hearths. Oceanus, unexpected rival, arrives independently at mortal sea navigation, improving through fire-forged bronze hulls, his Nereid daughters drowning fewer ships. Heracles, powerful institutional opponent, tasked with eagle dispatch during labors. Arrow wounding Zeus's pet, revealing Promethean rescue calculus. These figures orbit personal cataclysm, amplifying stakes through witnessed precision no abstract myth conveys. Sensory immersion anchors clinical horror. Ichor copper floods, mouth-cracked lips, sun-baked stones searing chain-welded wrists, while mountain wind carries eagle wing beats thunderous. Liver extraction vibrates through hollowed chest cavity, synesthetic colors exploding behind closed lids, crimson agony birthing golden fire spark visions affirming decision matrix. Epimetheus's distant cries blend with Nereid dirges rolling from Black Sea, Pandora's jar clinking clay pebbles miseries against valley wind. Regrowth itches infernal beneath pectoral scabs, nerve endings hyper-regenerating, heightening next dawn's sensitivity quotient 1.2 times prior cycle. Zeus's laughter echoes phantom from Olympus peaks, thunder masking tormented sky king's mirror, fear of devouring prophecy Cronus fulfilled through him. This immersion transforms Prometheus from symbol to suffering flesh, clinical precision anchoring psychological, reformatting in biological reality. No divine abstraction erases. Contrast characters deepen reformatting. Epimetheus, faithful intimate, embodies risked destruction. Pandora's miseries jar warning unheeded. Brother afterthought, now primary witness to conviction's cost. Themis, intellectual ally, defends publicly through oracles confirming fire necessity evolutionary, privately fearing Caucasus precedent, chaining future truth-tellers. Hera, disapproving authority, weaponizes Heracles' labors, testing Promethean loyalty. Golden apples stolen under her curse, mere prelude to Eagle Dispatch command. Oceanus, institutional opponent, maintains sea neutrality while Nereid daughters adapt fire-forged ships, his shape-shifting calculus mirroring Promethean forethought. Chiron's centaur mentor teaches Heracles arrow wound remedies, preserving eagle for eternal cycles. Faithful companion risking Zeus's wrath, preserving torment architecture. Heracles himself emerges painful contrast. Zeus bastard labored 12 times under Hera persecution, now tasked slaying eagle testing Promethean aid reciprocity. These relationships web cataclysm, each interaction refracting Titan conviction through Olympian depravity witness. One cold, ironic sentence slices. The Titan who freed Zeus from Cronus's stomach now feeds Zeus's eagle from his own regenerating flesh, familial debt compounded eternally. Zeus haunts phantom visits, thunder god circling crag shadows, calculating torment duration, optimal breaking mortal fire worship without killing symbol. Hera monitors through avian spies, queenly gaze assessing psychological attrition rates against marital throne security fire threatens. Athena observes clinically, virgin wisdom documenting Prometheus as case study in hubris, chained yielding enlightenment viral despite adamantine bonds. Poseidon sends Nereid reports charting fire spread coastal navigation patterns, trident realm adaptation rates exceeding flood countermeasures. Demeter notes hearth-dependent agriculture resisting famine curses, grain mother withdrawing earth fertility testing Promethean resilience. Clinical observation transforms personal cataclysm into Olympian experiment. Titan body laboratory proving divine monopoly, fragile against conviction's biological imperative. Psychological reformatting peaks year 17. Forethought visualizes fractal repetition. Liver renewal mirrors mortal civilization cycles, each beak strike catalyzing progress Zeus cannot extinguish. Doubt transmutes alchemical. Initial decision matrix, 92% chaining risk, now recalculates 0.0 survival, probability yielding infinite enlightenment return. Epimetheus delivers Heracles bearing Chiron remedies, centaur arrow wounding eagle, sufficiently preserving torment cycle while signaling Olympian fracture. Prometheus whispers through bloodied lips. Rescue attempts merely advertise conviction. Chains become symbol transcending Caucasus stone. Hera's labors calculus fractures. Heracles' golden apples, stolen, reveal Promethean loyalty, enduring eagle despite. Sky King's bastard now rebellion vector. Themis oracles shift scales, tipping toward fire inevitability. Titan torment precedent weakening divine monopoly claims. Deeper reformatting reveals Promethean arc. Enters Act 3 trapped by internal conviction. Fire evolutionary imperative, transcending personal survival. Flaw-defining greatness, now immunity granting eternal witness. Public reputation as chained rebel fuels, mortal hearthside recitations, fire-warmed tales preserving conviction architecture despite eagle precision. Private reality endures biological sacrament, liver extraction daily reminder mortality bridge through Titan sacrifice, forethought enumerating cycles until Olympian neurosis fractures. Heracles' eagle arrow signals point of fracture. Zeus bastard labors complete, yet Promethean aid reciprocated. Divine family dysfunction, viral through heroic lineage. Epimetheus, Pandora, offspring multiply miseries, yet fire spreads unchecked. Themis oracles confirm inevitability calculus. Act 3 closes emotional heart sealed, ignored warnings, crystallized clinical torment, psychological reformatting, forging conviction, unbreakable as adamantine chains. Float final unanswered question, haunting revelation. If Prometheus endures eagle precision, yet fire spreads viral, what divine fragility does chained flesh expose demanding such clinical sadism? Heracles departs bearing Chiron wisdom, labors complete yet Promethean precedent lingering in arrow wounds. Hera plots further vendettas against fire-warmed bastard lineages, marital throne trembling as mortal worship shifts hearthward. Themis oracles fall silent, charting inevitability. Oceanus Nereids adapt bronze hulls navigating fire-forged seas. Act 3. Personal tragedy reformats. Prometheus prisoner own discovery. Fire not gift, but evolutionary imperative. Eagle merely biological clockwork, preserving conviction eternal. Clinical precision carves truth. Immortals chain what illuminates their depravities. Mortal clay kindling burning brighter through Titan blood. The wooden horse creaks through Scaean gates at midnight, axles groaning under hollow belly pregnant with Greek vengeance. Torches flickering on ramparts where Laocoon's serpent-strangled corpse still twitches in priestly robes. External forces collide now. Paris's apple judgment festering divine rivalries, mortal hubris demanding Trojan blood for Helen's face. Olympian vendettas expelling heroes from interior conviction into public apocalypse. Athena directs from storm cloud throne, her spear tip guiding Sinon's tearful deception that fools King Priam into salvation gift embrace. Hera whispers final curses through wind gusts extinguishing watchfires. Zeus weighs scales tipping inexorably toward erasure not conquest. The agonizing siege decisions culminate here. Burn the horse or accept divine favor. Piety versus prudence. 10 years stalemate resolving in single catastrophic threshold. Greek blades slide free inside wooden womb. Public confrontation igniting as internal gods' neuroses explode through mortal flesh. Troy's fate the pressure cooker where divine pressure expels cosmic confrontation. External pressure builds relentlessly through decade-long prelude. Agamemnon's Mycenaean thousands, beaching on Trojan strand, ships beached black with owless winds becalmed until daughter's throat bought passage. Chrysis and Brissis spark Achilles' wrath tent withdrawal, his absence carving Greek casualties 50%, while Patroclus borrows armor testing divine limits. Hector defends walls constructed by Apollo himself. Yet sky god withdraws favor when Paris Apple spurns prophetic wisdom for Aphrodite's carnal promise. Thetis begs Zeus chain victory, aiding Troy temporarily, scale balancing permitting son Achilles' slaughter until Patroclus' corpse demands balance restoration. Poseidon aids outnumbered Trojans through earthquake tremors, shaking Greek palisades. Yet Athena counters arming Diomedes' night raids, wounding gods themselves. This external fury escalates interior conflicts outward. Achilles' rage becomes public Hector slaying. Odysseus' cunning manifests horse deception. Paris' judgment ignites goddess war, spilling mortal blood. The agonizing decision crystallizes on ramparts. Laocoon hurls spear-piercing horse flank, revealing hollow belly, bloodless wood echoing Greek armor within, yet King Priam restrains fiery destruction. Divine serpents coil from sea-silencing priestly warning. Poseidon's parting gift ensuring threshold crossed through pious miscalculation. Cassandra shrieks prophecy from temple heights, her madness dismissed as divine curse, while Ajax lusts for her priestess purity on Athena's own altar. Priam convenes council where Anchises pleads caution, Aeneas silent weighing escape routes. Antenor proposes Helen restitution, yet Polydamas foresees doom unheeded. External pressure, decade starvation, Theban allies fallen, Amazon Penthesilea slain by Achilles, expels interior hesitation into public verdict. Horse accepted as Athena's wrath, redirected against Greeks. This threshold moment transforms siege attrition into annihilation calculus, gods engineering mortal choice inevitability. Public confrontation erupts surgical. Horsebelly disgorges 50 blades, slicing gate guards before alarm spreads. Greek beach camps igniting signal fires, summoning reserve slaughter. Neoptolemus drags Priam from Zeus' altar, grandfather throat opened before grandson eyes, fulfilling Achilles' inherited rage without paternal honor. Menelaus finds Helen cowering, sword raised yet paralyzed by face launching 1,000 ships, her beauty weapon disarming vengeful husband amid universal carnage. Andromache hears Astyanax's skull dashed wall crack before witnessing Hector's widow reduced symbol crushed under Greek necessity. Dead air prevents future avenger. Cassandra dragged screaming from sacred stones. Ajax defiling prophetess on Athena altar who approves vengeance transcending sanctity. External fury expels heroes from conviction isolation into collective monstrosity. Decade discipline dissolving night-long frenzy. No quarter offered because none intended. Paris and Achilles embody fate-choice collision under Olympian gaze. Golden boy shepherd, judging goddesses now gut-shot by arrow-finding ankle vulnerability, Thetis neglected dipping. Achilles drags Hector, corpse thrice, Troy walls before assembled widows, desecration demanding ransom. Priam kneels, collecting sunflesh, stinking decomposition. Apollo guides Philoctetes' bow true, despite decade exile Lemnos. Heracles' bow poison, ensuring death no medicine cures. Thetis mourns godlike son, reduced mortal through maternal negligence. Her sea nymph tears salting Hellespont currents, carrying Greek homecomings. Athena savors judgment, vindication. Paris apple, spurning wisdom, dooming judge before judged city. External forces orchestrate personal apotheoses, Achilles immortalized through corpse mutilation, Paris punished through golden apple irony, writ flesh. Microcycle unanswered question haunts. If gods engineer every step apple to ashes, what mortal agency survives divine compulsion dictating Trojan threshold? Agamemnon hesitates, temple raising momentarily, sensing piety abandoned, when gods orchestrate sacrilege, yet orders altars toppled, confirming external pressure total. Odysseus calculates post-sack voyage, wooden horse architect sensing Poseidon wrath, coiling around Ithaca, homecoming through prophecy Polites relays. Aeneas receives Venus shield visions, future Rome, rising Troy ashes, divine escape, fiat soul, Trojan concession, mercy timeline. Hecuba transforms grief madness dog form, crawling ruins, barking sea vengeance unheeded. Cassandra's repeated prophecies culminate, Ajax rape validating ignored madness, her enslavement, Agamemnon prize foreshadowing Mycenaean doom. Public confrontation reveals gods expelling heroes' interiority, External fury threshold, transforming conviction into collective annihilation. Sensory immersion anchors threshold carnage, blood salt taste. Greek warriors' lips sea-crossing decade culminating street drowning red, bronze hack Scaean oak yielding flesh. Smoke charred, flesh chokes stars, women clutching children, pierced dual thrust efficiency, killing 2 generations single stroke. Astyanax, skull crack wet echoes, louder city death throes. Titanomachy keening amplified streets, divine malice magnification. Cassandra temple screams cut, Ajax grunts, sacred stone violation. Athena, gaze approving vengeance, transcending purity mortals alone claim. Palace collapse beams, snapping fallen giant spines, crushing royal lines smoldering stone tons. Agamemnon hesitating raised temples, sensing god abandonment. Wooden horse rots agora, guts crusted gore, warriors birthed infamous betrayal, dawn breaking blood red, illuminating unburied dead vulture spirals. Supporting characters amplify expulsion. Hera, disapproving authority, goddess rivalry, fueling apple judgment, decade vendettas. Paris, spurning marital queen, igniting systematic erasure. Thetis, faithful intimate Achilles, risking marital Zeus bed, begging scale balance. Maternal love, enabling son godlike rage, public confrontation. Odysseus, loyal intellectual ally, defending horse stratagem publicly. Privately fearing Poseidon trident, revenge, sea voyage, Polites' prophecy confirms. Priam, powerful institutional opponent representing old Troy, order horse destroys. Grandfather piety threshold crossed, serpent strangulation. Helen, unexpected rival arriving, Aphrodite compulsion. Face paralysis, Menelaus sword, transcending mortal vengeance. Ajax, institutional enforcer, tasked Cassandra capture yet defiling altar, igniting Athena wrath homeward. These figures web external pressure, interactions refracting divine compulsion through mortal choice illusion. One cold, ironic sentence lands. Horse symbol, Greek guile built, Poseidon's sacred trees, doom's favored city, earthshaker birthing beast destroying chosen through Olympian politics. Agamemnon commands temple raising confirming god abandonment total. Mycenaean king sensing piety luxury gods themselves abandon. Odysseus stares, smoldering skyline, calculating Ithaca doom. Horse architect sensing divine displeasure, coiling familiar house prophecy confirms. Aeneas flees father-son, divine fiat. Rome destiny, mocking present ruin. Trojan survivor, birthing empire ashes. Cassandra rape. Athena altar profanes, divine directly. Goddess approves vengeance, transcending sanctity. Purity mortals alone claim. External forces expel interior conflict. Public confrontation threshold crossed. Gods engineering mortal choice inevitability through serpent warning divine pressure. Deeper psychological threshold. Achilles enters confrontation, trapped external expectations, godlike invulnerability, Thetis dipping failed, internal conviction, wrath purity, Patroclus death, circumstances siege attrition demanding Hector corpse ransom. Paris golden boy trapped apple judgment compulsion, Aphrodite promise, internal conviction, beauty transcendence, war-causing face, external siege pressure demanding defense spurned city. Priam aged wisdom, trapped piety expectations, Troy preservation, internal conviction, grandfather honor Zeus altar, external decade starvation forcing horse acceptance. Odysseus cunning trapped intellectual ally reputation, horse stratagem, internal conviction homecoming necessity, external Poseidon wrath prophecy sea voyage, Helen face trapped divine pawn status, internal conviction beauty weapon disarming vengeance, external war decade launched her account. These architectures collide threshold, divine external fury expelling interior captivity, public annihilation. Pressure compresses further. Amazon Penthesilea arrives external ally testing Achilles' spear. Her death revealing love lust beneath godlike armor, Thetis tears witness. Memnon Ethiopian, Dawn's son, arrives external champion, matched Achilles' mutual slaughter, divine sons cancelling godlike balance. Eurypylus Mysian arrives external reinforcement tipping scales, Greek desperation horse stratagem. Philoctetes recalled external necessity. Heracles' bow poison ensuring Paris' death. These interventions escalate pressure, expelling interior hesitation public decisions. Burn horse hesitation, divine serpent enforces acceptance. Agonizing siege decisions resolve threshold crossed. External forces God's mortal hubris, expelling heroes' conviction isolation, collective monstrosity. Float haunting question revelation bound. If gods dictate compulsion every threshold step, what distinguishes mortal choice divine marionette string? Tugging. Aeneas escape Venus, fiat soul concession, mercy timeline, Rome destiny ashes birthing empire mocking Troy annihilation. Odysseus voyage doom prophecy coiling, horse architect navigating divine displeasure Ithaca familiar house. Agamemnon Mycenae prize Cassandra, enslavement foreshadowing Clytemnestra axe, temple raising piety, abandonment returning vengeance. Neoptolemus, Priam, throat slash inherited rage without honor. Grandfather piety threshold crossed serpent warning. Act 4 closes external pressure, detonating public confrontation. Trojan reckoning threshold crossed. Gods expelling heroes, interior conflict, cosmic annihilation scripted. Priam final words gasped. Neoptolemus strike invoke abandoning gods. Behold son Peleus pity divine. Prophet curse extremis unheeded, rage consumed boy. Cassandra enslavement, Agamemnon prize, Mycenaean doom foreshadow, Ajax altar defilement, Athena wrath homeward, Helen face paralysis, Menelaus sword, beauty weapon, transcending mortal vengeance, war launched account. Andromache Astyanax, skull crack symbol, crushed Greek necessity, dead air prevents avenger. Hecuba, grief madness dog transformation, crawling ruins, barking sea unheeded. External fury threshold transforms, siege, attrition, annihilation. Gods engineering mortal agency illusion, divine compulsion, inevitability. Pause. Let the silence settle over Troy's smoldering ruins, over Prometheus's bloodied crag, over the primordial void that birthed this endless cycle of divine betrayal. Before heroes sailed home to hauntings, before fire warmed mortal hearths defying eagle chains, there existed the detail official myths omit, the Pandora link binding creation's womb to Trojan doom. Zeus crafted her not mere compensation for Promethean fire, but precision-engineered curse, ensuring mortal progress always bleeds equilibrium through misery jar. Epimetheus accepted divine bride eyes, gleaming clay beauty, concealing weaponized womb. Her fingers curious upon forbidden pyths, releasing winged plagues humanity endures eternal. This revelation rewinds apple judgment, horse threshold, titan chains. Pandora's echo the fractal pattern where gods balance enlightenment through suffering. Their eternity dependent fragile mortal worship, sustained terror, not triumph. Breathe with this truth before reinterpretation fractures every statue, every hearth tale, every Olympian facade. What happened traces inevitable. Odysseus storms Ithaca, 20 years absent. Suitors slaughtered, stringing Prometheus' fire-forged bow. Penelope's shroud-weaving fidelity tested divine odyssey weaving. Agamemnon returns Mycenae. Cassandra prize, Clytemnestra, axe-waiting warmed hearth. Zeus bastards birthed, prophetess silenced, fulfilling ignored warnings pattern. Neoptolemus rules Syros briefly before Delphi temple murder. grandfather Priam throat echo haunting patricidal hands, divine justice, fractal. Aeneas founds Lavinium, father Anchises, corpse, Italy, soil. Rome, destiny, birthing Caesars claiming Trojan virtue, ashes, nobility. Helen, Sparta, queen restored, Menelaus side, beauty weapon disarming vengeance, yet Sparta hearths whisper apple origin curse. These homecomings reveal Pandora equilibrium. Fire progress demands jar misery's balance, mortal civilization fragile equilibrium. Gods maintain terror precision. Who assumed responsibility fractures cleanly. Zeus claims sky throne authority, partitioning cosmos brothers. Thunder scepter masking, Pandora curse authorship, maintaining worship monopoly. Hera accepts marital queen role, weaponizing vendettas, preserving throne's second fiddle eternity. Heracles labors systematic infanticide campaigns balancing bastard proliferation. Athena owns wisdom victories, arming proxies. Trojan horse, Aegis Gorgon trophies. Virgin intellect selective ignoring. Father rapes, enabling exceptionalism. Poseidon trident realm floods, punishing fire-adapted ships. Earthshaker tantrums, maintaining sea monopoly, coastal shrines. Apollo heals publicly, flaying challengers privately. Hyacinthus discus orchestrated jealousy wins, balancing oracle worship. Demeter grain mother famines, testing hearth-dependent agriculture. Persephone rape enabled neglect, balanced earth withdrawal. Olympians distribute responsibility fractal, each double life public benefaction, private atrocity maintaining cosmic equilibrium, Pandora jar enforces. My explicit point of view crystallizes now. Greek mythology reveals not heroic pantheon, but diagnostic mirror power pathology, unchecked mortality, immortals amplifying familial neurosis, cosmic scale trapping humanity crossfire. Cronus devouring prophecy dodger birthed Zeus regurgitation coup, replicating paternal sin, thunder mask, Titanomachy victory, chaining uncles birthing Prometheus, fire chaining Caucasus eagle, apple judgment goddess rivalry, decade, Trojan annihilation, birthing Rome, Caesar hearth tales, wooden horse threshold gods engineering, mortal agency illusion. Pandora jar miseries balancing Promethean enlightenment, ensuring fragile mortal worship. Terror sustains eternity, fragile. Gods require worship, affirm existence, yet despise enlightenment. Clay-born wield, thunderbolts paling hearth glow, progress, demanding eagle liver precision, maintain monopoly. Reverence endures not despite flaws, because immortals mirror worst impulses, magnified offering catharsis, mythic extremity, illuminating human clay fragility. The final irony closes loop devastating. System-crushing Prometheus chained firebringer adopted his enlightenment systematically. Zeus thunder paling mortal hearth, philosophy birthing Socrates hemlock. Plato cave shadows, mocking chained titan crag. Hera vendettas, birthing Heracles. Labors systematized Roman virtue. Brutus dagger Caesar. Marital queen persecution. Fractal empire expansion. Athena wisdom arming Odysseus. Cunning birthing Virgil Aeneid Rome. Destiny. Virgin Aegis protecting Trojan survivor. Birthing Caesar's marble. Poseidon trident floods birthing naval supremacy, Carthage destruction. Earthshaker tantrums fractal sea empire maintenance. Apollo oracle healing birthing, Delphic vapors. Emperor worship, Hyacinthus. Tragedy fractal Caesar assassination, cult divine. Demeter grain withdrawal birthing agricultural empire bred circuses. Persephone rape enabled earth fertility, Roman abundance. Gods crushed Pandora, curse enlightenment yet transformed. Mortal progress weaponized Olympian system eternal. Resolution measures authoritative. Troy annihilation birthing Greece. Golden Age philosophy. Democracy birthing Rome. Law engineering birthing Western civilization. Hearth fire. Prometheus, liver birthed. Agamemnon, Mycenae, axe, Clytemnestra, birthing Orestes' matricide. Justice, birthing Athenian tragedy. Catharsis, birthing legal theater. Neoptolemus, Delphi murder, birthing oracle. Precedent, birthing political assassination. Calculus, birthing republic, senate daggers. Aeneas, Lavinium, birthing Rome. Birthing empire, birthing law codes, birthing constitutionalism, birthing modern governance. Helen Sparta, beauty birthing, Hellenistic culture, birthing Renaissance revival, birthing enlightenment. Reason, birthing rights declaration. Pandora, jar, miseries birthing, human resilience, birthing literature, art, music, birthing civilization, hearth fire illuminates, despite eagle chains eternal. Sensory immersion lingers resolution. Odysseus, Ithaca, slaughter suitor blood hearth fire. Prometheus, gift illuminating faithful Penelope shroud weaving, 20-year cunning divine odyssey closure. Agamemnon, Mycenae, Cassandra, silenced axe-warmed hearth. Zeus bastards birthed, Clytemnestra vengeance. Prophetess warnings, fractal ignored pattern closure. Aeneas, Italy, father Anchises, corpse, soil Rome, destiny birthing marble Caesars, whispering Troy, virtue ashes. Helen Sparta, restored Menelaus, side beauty weapon, disarming decade vengeance. Hearth whispers, apple Pandora origin, curse equilibrium. Prometheus, Caucasus, eagle arrow, Heracles, Chiron, wisdom closure cycle, liver renewal, mortal progress viral, despite adamantine chains. Olympian marble statues, hearth tales, modern museums whisper forgotten curse, Pandora echo binding creation, Trojan doom eternal. Universal law extracts philosophical, power unchecked, mortality amplifies familial neurosis, cosmic catastrophe, immortals requiring worship, despising enlightenment, clay-born wield fragile equilibrium, terror maintains. Cronus, Zeus, apple horse, Pandora fractal pattern, parental mutilation, filial consumption, coup chaining enlightenment, curse misery, balancing progress. Gods engineer mortal agency illusion, divine compulsion, inevitability. Thunder rapes, floods, famines, maintaining worship, monopoly, fragile. Mortal clay, kindling, burning brighter. Titan blood, Prometheus, liver, eagle, precision. Hearth fire, philosophy, birthing, despite chains jar, miseries eternal. Reverence endures, diagnostic mirror. Myth x-raying authority, family fate. Immortal fractures, illuminating human fragile clay. Olympian neurosis birthed Western civilization hearth. Prometheus gift, illuminating marble flaws eternal. Project pattern present, modern institutions mirror divine double lives. Public benefaction funding, private atrocities, corporate temples, overflowing offerings, executives' golden parachutes. Political sky kings thunder social media scepters, masking predatory appetites. Hera, marital coalitions, weaponizing vendettas, systematic corruption campaigns. Athena wisdom algorithms arming proxy wars, Aegis data trophies, virgin intellect selective ignoring systemic violations, enabling exceptionalism. Poseidon resource extraction floods punishing non-compliant markets, Earthshaker tantrums maintaining commodity monopoly, Apollo healing tech flaying privacy challengers, Hyacinthus, tragedy fractal surveillance capitalism cult worship, Demeter agribusiness famines testing food-dependent populations, Persephone supply chain enabled Earth withdrawal profit optimization, Pandora jar miseries modern, debt inflation, surveillance pandemics, climate balancing, digital enlightenment, fragile equilibrium terror sustains. The central thematic question stated openly, never answered. If gods birthed mortal civilization, fire enlightenment, yet required misery, chains terror, maintain worship, equilibrium. What distinguishes divine fragility, human resilience illuminating immortal neurosis eternal? Odysseus Ithaca, Hearthfire, 20-year cunning divine odyssey, closure fractal pattern. Agamemnon, Mycenae, Cassandra, silenced Clytemnestra axe, Zeus bastards birthed vengeance cycle. Aeneas Italy, Rome destiny, Troy ashes birthing marble Caesars, Hearth Prometheus gift. Helen Sparta, beauty disarming decade vengeance, Apple Pandora curse origin equilibrium. Prometheus Caucasus liver eagle Heracles arrow, Chiron wisdom cycle closure, mortal progress viral. Subscribe deeper, mythological excavations, diagnostic mirror power, pathology, illuminating modern clay fragility. Float final silence revelation, breathing, Pandora echo binding, chaos womb, Trojan ashes, Hearthfire, Prometheus liver, eagle chains, apple judgment, horse threshold, God's engineering, cosmic equilibrium, fragile. Zeus thunder, Hera, vendettas, Athena, Aegis, Poseidon trident, Apollo oracle, Demeter grain, fractal double lives public divinity, private atrocity, maintaining worship, monopoly, terror precision. Mortal clay, kindling burning brighter, Titan blood illumination despite adamantine chains, jar miseries viral resilience birthing, civilization eternal. Olympian neurosis birthed philosophy, democracy law rights hearth. Prometheus gift marble flaws, diagnostic mirror authority family fate, illuminating human fragile clay, reverence endures. The architecture dread reverence unspools complete. Void hunger, parental mutilation, Titan consumption, Olympian coup, fire enlightenment, curse misery, equilibrium Trojan annihilation, hearth progress viral eternal. What compels immortals squander power, trivial slights, mortal clay illuminates divine fragility, cosmic scale. One cold irony closes without explanation. Gods forbidding mortals peering fate, spend eternity chained Caucasus, witnessing own prophecy fulfillment, liver renewal, mortal progress inexorable. Resolution breathes measured. Pandora curse birthing resilience, literature art, music. Civilization hearth fire illuminates despite eagle precision. Universal pattern projects, modern institutions divine double lives, public benefaction, private atrocity, fragile equilibrium, terror sustains. Central question haunts unanswered. Divine fragility, human resilience illuminating immortal neurosis, eternal. The journey completes diagnostic mirror power pathology, Olympian flaws birthed Western hearth, Prometheus gift eternal.